All right, so this video is going to be about Research Workbook, and I might have to break it up a little bit if the explanation gets long, but Research Workbook is going to be your sketchbook for this particular class. So it's going to be a little bit more involved in sketchbook assignments of the past. And the first thing that we're going to look at is this handout, this virtual handout that has the explanations for all the different assignments for the Research Workbook. So like I said before, I'm not going to read all of this to you, but it's formally known as Sketchbook. And the Research Workbook is going to be something that you are actively using throughout the 9-week course. So it's 40% of your overall grade. And again, it's still graded on the 4-point scale that we talked about in the syllabus video. So at the end of the 9-week term, we're going to talk about the requirements just quickly. There are 9 double pages in your sketchbook dedicated to your learning about drawing 3 materials, inspiration, or project planning. So the assignments are divided into 3 different categories, and you must fulfill each category 3 separate times. So every week, double pages will be due for this class. The nice part about Research Workbook is that you can choose which category you'd like to fulfill with each week. So for example, let's say this first week, not this week, but the next week will be something about artist study. You're like, hey, I really want to do an artist study. I'm just going to get it over with. I want to do an artist study about Andy Warhol. So you do some research, you answer the questions about Andy Warhol, you do a page in his style, double pages, you turn it in. The goal of the Research Workbook is to help you be a little bit more involved with your artistic knowledge, knowing about art history, knowing about different materials, practicing, experimenting, and then revising your work, okay? Material exploration is another category. So that is something where you're using a material in a new way that you haven't used before. Or if it is a way that you've used it before, you are expanding on your practice of that. So let's say you want to get better at charcoal. And you're like, oh, I want to use charcoal to do a realistic portrait of my mom. Okay, so that could be a material exploration. And you document your study in 2 pages in your sketchbook. And then the last one is studio project journaling. So that is more like a sketch note or prepping for a project in the class. So that might not be one that you could do every week because you might be working on a project for 2 weeks in this class. So you will be responsible for at least 3 studio project journals. However, if you do one for every single class, that is a potential for you to receive some extra credit because we will have more than 3 studio projects in this class. So get in the habit of prepping for your projects in your sketchbook, and then you can utilize it for your research workbook. Okay, so entries should be dated and in chronological order. Please don't rip out pages. Try to be as professional and use proper craftsmanship in your sketchbook. You know, you might not utilize every single page of your sketchbook, but you want to keep it a place that is professional and nice and something that you can use and keep as reference for the future, especially if you're really dedicated in drawing and you want to move up and do something with drawing, either in a future advanced course or in college or outside of it. You know, it's a nice reference to have and could be used as a portfolio artifact, okay? So let's see. Your first entry that you are going to be responsible for is on Google Classroom. It is right here. So everyone is doing this assignment together. You have to do this one first. After this, then you get to choose which category of the research workbook you would like to do. So this first one is not going to be a double page. It is the only one that is not a double page. So this is 1 page in your research workbook that is an autobiography for you. So there are several questions that you need to answer, either written or visual, or a combination of both. Now remember, this is a drawing class, so you want to show me your drawing skills. This video is going to end, so I will do a part 2 to this video. But start thinking about the autobiography and looking at this assignment. Okay,